Well, I'm in the middle here of making a desk, and put the final coats of varnish on it, and they're not tacky anymore, they're dry, but they'll need at least several days to a week to finally cure before I really want to move it around and flip this over to work on the underside of it and so forth. So, and I'm also waiting for some parts coming in from Amazon. So, sitting around here, I thought I'd just make a bait. So, day 100 zillion of the pandemic, and just dug out an old pattern that I had drawn a ways back, and it's nice shape, and this bait worked out pretty good. And I traced it on this piece of cedar deck board, and I like it because it's a little thick, and I'll be able to make a little more rounded bait than a flatter one. So let's get started. I want a pretty narrow tail on this one, and a little bit of a wide nose. Well, there it is. Should anybody decide to try this with a belt sander, which is really very effective as long as you've got a decent eye to get the symmetry, you've got to pay particular attention to a couple things. One, it's easy to do the ends, but the middle is a little trickier because you have an inside curve, and you tend to be able to rock the tail and the nose more. So you got to pay particular attention to the shoulders to make sure that they don't come off too square, that they're rounded on the top. And then where the belly is, or the chest area right here, it'll tend to get very chunky. And so you got to pay attention to make sure you take enough off from that so it doesn't look like it's coming out square and then turning in. And a way to do that, to hold on to a bait like this on a belt sander without sanding your fingers off, it's very slippery, but if you wet your fingers, you can hold on to it really good. You may have to wet them a couple times, but it lasts quite a while. So a little saliva or water, if you want to, from some kind of container, will go a long way to let it hold on to it really good. And you can rock it back and forth. It won't slip out of your hands. When it does slip out, it goes flying. So, now for some hand sanding. You know, that's just about right. I'm going to touch it up with a little 220 grit, and it'll be ready for drilling holes and sealing. I think I'll do a little carving of gills on this thing. Yeah. I sometimes wonder about the value of carving gill plates into a bait like this for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think the fish care, so it's purely an artistic thing if you want to kill some time and make your bait a little more work. Secondly, you have to carve them really deep, because as you put your paints and top coat resins on and sealers and so forth, it tends to just take those nice sharp edges you carved and just sort of fill them in so they don't show as much. You got to go super deep in order to get a look so it's not too smooth after you're done. Otherwise it just looks like an uncarved bait. But once in a while I like to do it just to shake things up a little bit, make things a little different. And of course, nothing wrong with power tools. It's not a purist method of doing it. It sure speeds things up and makes it a lot easier.